We're joined by JT Denverley, Josh Richard, Coach Jim Les. Coach, if you'd make an opening statement, then we'll throw open the questions and we'll ask the people to identify themselves before they ask a question.
Well, I think this game was characterized by two halves. I didn't think we came out as aggressive as we'd like, especially on the defensive end in the first half. And give Northridge credit. They made a lot of plays. They shot 58% from the field and I thought controlled the tempo of the game. And we challenged our guys at halftime, especially our post players, to set a physical presence for our team. And usually we respond with their leadership in that department. And I thought starting with these two guys, they set the tone on both ends of the floor, defensively and then rebounding the basketball and scoring paint points. And we eventually just wore them down. And the difference was they shoot 40% in the second half versus 58 in the first half. So, and then generally what happens with our basketball team is when we defend, that flows into good offense, and we shot a high percentage in the second half, which allowed us to make up the difference.
Questions for Coach or players? Right there.
All right, JT, you had a layup in the second half to take the lead. Could you feel that was maybe a turning point in the game?
Yeah, I definitely felt like it was a turning point in the game. Just to start the second half, I felt like we had to come out with a higher intensity, more aggression, and I think, like Coach said, it started with the post players, and I really tried to make my presence felt from on the offensive end, especially on the defensive end. So yeah, I definitely think that was a turning point in the game.
Down front. Talk to the microphone. Please identify yourself too.
Yeah, Bruce Gallaudet from the Enterprise in Davis. It seemed like the game, not only in the second half from your standpoint, but it looked like CSUN was pretty physical and getting away with a little bit in the first half. Do you agree with that, Jim?
Well, we know they're a physical basketball team, and it's just a matter of responding to it. I thought, they being the aggressor, they being more physical in the first half, we were just a step slow and warranted some of the fouls that were called on us. In the second half, it was their same physicality, but I thought we reacted and responded to it better. We anticipated it, and a lot of times we were the aggressor with the physicality, and that set a tone for us.
Aileen Voisin, SAC B. Jim, talk a little bit about Josh's development as a more run, not just a shooter, but that physicality you're talking about.
Well, Josh has spent a lot of time in the weight room. He's gotten stronger, but it hasn't taken away from his mobility and his versatility, being able to step out on the floor and make shots, being able to rebound the ball, being able to score in the post, and then being a physical defender for us. And when he does all of those things, he's a really tough cover on the offensive end, and he becomes another playmaker for us on the defensive end. And tonight was a great example of a senior leader stepping up, especially when our team was struggling and keeping us close in the first half and then making big plays down the stretch, especially big threes, which he's totally capable of doing.
Joe?
Joseph DiPolito, Sacramento Bee, and this is for any of the three of you who wish to answer. It looked like Cal State Northridge's defense was less intense and less disciplined in the second half. Did you find that to be the case? And if so, what did you feel that you could take advantage of?
Well, I think, sometimes, and we were probably a little bit of a product of it in the first half, when shots aren't dropping, you don't tend to be as disciplined or as aggressive or energized or enthusiastic on the defensive end. And, we were able to string some stops together in the second half, which I think carried over to the defensive end also. So I think that probably has a little bit to do with it. And we also talked about, before the game, this being a 40-minute marathon. And our discipline and energy with our depth needed to play throughout the 40 minutes because they've got limited numbers, and we wanted to wear them down physically and mentally as the game went on. I thought that worked as well.
Bruce?
For both Josh and JT, well, actually the Aggies weren't here last year, but you guys were on the bench last year. Is there any special emotional significance to this year with both you guys healthy and in there? And Josh first.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, to be here this year and, be able to accomplish what, what we have been able to accomplish this year. Last year, me and JT were, we kind of felt a little helpless, not being able to help the team. We were just both on the sidelines every practice watching, and, to be able to come in here and, be able to have an effect and, to be like integral parts of this team is, it's pretty special. I know for me, I know for JT too, and we're just excited for this opportunity. But, we're gonna be ready and get ready for tomorrow. So we still have a lot more we want to accomplish, but it's nice to be here, especially after not being here last year.
Just like you said, we were on the bench last year. We weren't even here. So to work our way back to where we could start playing again, and then kind of getting back to where we are now, we feel like we deserve to be here. For all the hard work we put in, me and Josh both in rehab, then going into August, summer workouts, and then just the plan that we've put out or that we've put in place this whole time has just really been it's been great to see the fruits of our labor kind of, I guess, blossom, I guess you could say. So yeah, we feel like we deserve to be here, and it's great. It's a great feeling.
Julius Last in the Sundial, and this is for Coach. Can you talk about how big Tyler Less's three was? I believe it was under 3 minutes left. It was from it looked like 30 feet. Can you talk about what that did for your team?
Well, he gets a lot of confidence from his mother. And, a lot of times he thinks he's open wherever he's at. But he definitely, has a mindset that if he's got a little bit of a window, he's going to shoot it and shoot it with confidence and live with the consequences. And he's made big plays for us all year. And that was another good example. And I think after his three, Josh followed up with a three. And those are daggers to get them like that. And we have that capability. In fact, we talked about it early in the second half that, 8-9 point deficit for us is as long as we continue to get stops and stay within that range, it doesn't take us long, and we're going to eventually get on a heater. We believe that. We feel that. We have that type of offensive confidence, and certainly those guys stepped up as they have all year and made big plays. Again, our seniors.
Right there, Mike. Oh, Jill?
Jill Painter-Lopez, Fox Sports West. For one of you guys, what made your defense so effective? 11 steals, and you forced them into 18 turnovers.
I think in the first half, we kind of just were a little sluggish on defense. We talked about at halftime how our kind of our offensive struggles were translating onto the defensive end. So in the second half, we just wanted to, increase our intensity and, let our defense, get us back in the game. And so we just kind of tried to get after more, try to, bring the physicality to them instead of them bringing it to us. So I think once we did that, we got some stops, and that kind of got the ball rolling for us on offense.
Avi Mastracco, Fox Sports West. Coach, two former Sacramento Kings facing each other. Is this kind of a cool thing for Sacramento, especially since the one who stayed in Sacramento won?
Absolutely. As long as I win, I think it's a great thing. But, I have a lot of respect for Reggie. I remind him all the time how much older he is, because I remember as a kid, I grew up in Chicago, and I remember when the Bulls drafted Reggie. So I remind him how much older he is, but have a ton of respect, enjoyed watching him playing against him, and he's an unbelievable competitor. And I knew coming into this game he was going to have his team ready to play. They had a week to prepare. They hadn't played since last Thursday. So we knew it was going to take our best effort to come away with a W, but have the utmost respect for him.
Anyone else? Gentlemen, thank you. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:30.
Thank you.